Coming up this week on the show,
we hear from our award-winning marching band.
Zach dives into the Fort Mill car community.
And Michael tells us why late-night TV may be in trouble.
It's Friday, October 9th, and the buzz starts right now.
Happy Friday, Fort Mill. I'm Evan.
And I'm Bella. Thanks to Brody and Elliot for putting together today's intro, which was inspired by the new game Among Us.
I love being the imposter. I win every time.
Same, I'm obsessed with this game. Speaking of games, Delaney's here to give us the rundown on our Yellowjacket athletes.
Hey Fort Mill, I'm Delaney and you're watching the Buzz Sports. On Monday, girls golf competed in their region tournament and finished third overall with a score of 384. On Wednesday, they faced off against Gaffney at home and lost 209 to 175. And on Thursday, they challenged Rock Hill and Catawba Ridge and finished second with a score of 209. Girls tennis had a big match against NAFO at home on Tuesday and lost in a hard-fought match. They were on the road against Boiling Springs on Wednesday and won, sealing their spot in the playoffs. Volleyball challenged Boiling Springs at home on Tuesday and won 3-2 in a close match. They traveled to Clover on Wednesday and won 3-2, and they competed against Gaffney on Thursday and lost 1-3. Both boys and girls swim teams won the region title last Saturday. The girls won it for the 12th year in a row and will compete in the state meet this Saturday in Charleston, and the boys will compete on Monday. Cross country will compete in the George Moss Classic this Saturday at JL Mann. And to close out our Spirit Week, the football team is looking to come back after a tough loss last week to Clover. They'll play tonight at 7:30 at Bob Jones against Hartsville in the homecoming game. As usual, the theme is blue and gold. I'm Delaney reporting for the Buzz Sports.
Thanks, Delaney. One of the biggest supporters of our football team is the Fort Mill Marching Band. They've always done very well at competitions and earned many national awards.
Even though they aren't allowed to travel or compete this year, they're still practicing on and being the best they can.
With the school year underway, many clubs and extracurricular activities have had a late start to their season. The Fort Mill High School Marching Band has come back and started practicing a few weeks ago. I reached out to a few of the band members to get their opinion on what it's like to finally be back.
Well, I think now that marching band's back in session, we're going to be able to get our opportunities to play. I mean, we've kind of been waiting since March, had a bunch of cancellations for our concerts, but it's going to be really nice to get back on the field and get playing.
It's really nice to be back. It's good to have something to channel our energy into after being stuck at home for so long, especially being a virtual student. So it's nice to be able to see people again, interact with people, and come together to do something, not our normal thing, but definitely something fun together.
Marching band has been better than expected this year because we've been able to play at football games, although we haven't been able to do a lot of marching yet. But it seems like there are some possibilities in the future, and that's going to be pretty cool if we can make it all work.
Although there won't be any competitions this season due to COVID, they still get out there to have some fun. I'm Nathan Welsh, reporting for The Buzz.
Thanks, Nathan.
For some people, cars are just a way to get around, but for others, they're a lifestyle.
And here in Fort Mill, there's a growing car community, and Zach took a drive to show us more.
Beneath the rattle of 3-inch straight pipes and cam V8s lies a culture not quite like any other. Car culture has played an important role for adults and kids alike for years. With the lack of things to do and places to go, car enthusiasts are finding ways to stay busy, such as car meets and personal projects.
With that in mind, I decided to head over to a local meet tonight and ask some enthusiasts how they got into cars and what the car community means to them.
So to get into the car community, really the biggest thing is reaching out to someone that you know that's in the car community, learning from them, going online, that's another thing. You can learn a lot from YouTube, especially if you want to do maintenance on your car, just simple maintenance.
Learning how to do basic maintenance on your car is a great first step to get into the car community.
So what got me into cars is, I don't know, I was just driving. Honestly, my first car I had was a minivan. But I just see all these people drive by, phew, making cool noises, it looked good. So I started to get into it, and I ended up really enjoying cars. You're working on them a little bit, but it's just the aesthetic of them. Driving them is a whole experience with every single car. So that's what made me get into them pretty heavy, getting different cars. Car culture, it's more of a hobby. It's a family, it's friendships, it's enthusiasts. There's so much more to it than just the car itself, you know?
Reporting for The Buzz, I'm Zach.
Thanks, Zach. It's so interesting learning about other people's hobbies. What do you do in your spare time?
During quarantine, I spent a lot of time in front of the TV, but recently that hasn't been the case.
Talk shows have been losing a lot of popularity recently due to a lack of viewership. Michael's here to tell us more about the death of late-night TV.
With new ways to watch all of our favorite shows, it seems that some of the programs from the last generation are being left behind in this new age of entertainment. Late-night television shows have been the pinnacle of news and pop culture, but with new options, our generation is steering towards different outlets.
I think our generation strays away from late-night television just because there's other options like Netflix or Hulu or something that you can stream that's easier to watch.
Well, I really think that it's kind of it's dying, and I don't know if there's anything they can do. I mean, they can add maybe some cool things from our generation, like concepts and ideas, but other than that, I think it's going out of business.
In the golden age of late night, legends like David Letterman and Jay Leno consistently got over 15 million viewers a night. But now, current hosts such as Jimmy Fallon and Trevor Noah can barely get 1 million viewers ever since COVID started in March. I wanted to get to the bottom of this cable catastrophe, so I got in touch with WCCB Charlotte's John Wilson to see why younger generations are straying away from late-night television.
What do I think the slow decline in ratings with the late-night hosts? I think it's across the board. Yeah, the late-night ratings are down, but so, network TV really across the board because, when Carson was on TV and when Letterman, there were a lot of people that we only had 30 channels back then. And when Carson was going, we had, 4 or 5. So with more options, with the streaming, with people being able to watch whenever they want to watch, I still think people are watching. They may just be watching in different ways that the rating services haven't caught up with. Are ratings lower? Yes. Are they getting, fewer eyeballs? Yeah, maybe not as much as what we think. So I think it is what it is with so many options. Again, going back to that, we're not going to see somebody unless they've got a mega guest or something like that get the ratings that they had before. I think the industry has kind of, they understand that and the bar is different because everything else on TV is different now.
With the decline of late night viewership showing a greater trend for cable shows in general, it's clear that not only Fallon and Kimmel have to be worried, but anyone working on a show that hasn't made a switch to streaming platforms yet. Reporting for The Buzz, I'm Michael.
Thanks, Michael. It's crazy how fast things change.
I know, right? It seems like we were crewmates just yesterday.
But look at us now, Evan. No one saw us vent out here.
I guess you could say there's some great teamwork among us.
I'm Bella.
And I'm Evan.
Have a fantastic Friday, Fort Mill.
You're ruining the shot. Get out.